Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about South Central and Pepperdine University. So like most people, including me, I know the school Pepperdine University for being a rich-ass school in Malibu, far, far away from the hood and the urban community. But if you didn't know, it wasn't always that way. South Central didn't have an urban presence until the late 1950s, early 1960s, with many black families moving to California. So many white people lived in these communities first. In February of 1937, during the Great Depression, George Pepperdine founded Pepperdine University, named after him, as a Christian and liberal arts college in LA. On September 21st, 1937, 167 new students from 22 states and 2 foreign countries entered classes on the newly built campus on 34 acres in South Central LA. This campus was later referred to as the Vermont Avenue campus. Pepperdine University was located on West 79th Street and South Vermont Avenue, which would later become one of the most deadliest areas to one of the most deadliest gangs, the Hoovers. But that would come way later. Areas like Compton, Watts, and South Central haven't seen Crips and Bloods yet, and overall many blacks in general. These areas were all white at the time. In the 1960s, South Central and surrounding communities started to change a lot in its demographics, and Pepperdine University and its president knew it. Let's just say they wanted to get the hell out of South Central. In 1965, the Watts riots went down, causing 34 deaths, 1,000 injuries, and over 3,000 arrests. This was a 6-day riot with $40 million of damage. Watts' black residents were tired of racial discrimination with the cops and how whites treated them. So by 1966, Pepperdine University was looking for new locations, basically becoming scared shitless of the hood. They wanted to move the school to places like Calabasas and West Lake Village. Adamson family, who owned hundreds of acres near Malibu, offered to donate 138 acres to the school and to sell 58 adjacent acres. Despite concerns over the building's cost, the school decided to move forward based off the prime location in Malibu and decided to raise donations for the land. But being in South Central did have some advantages for black people. The school had 17% black people going to the university, compared to UCLA's being 2%. Larry Kimmons, who was 15, and was a student at Washington High School, decided to go up to Pepperdine University on March 12, 1969 with up to 5 of his friends to play basketball. Many young people from the area would end up going to the school often to play basketball, so this wasn't nothing new. Larry ended up getting into a verbal argument with a security guard named Charlie Lane. The basketball gym was closed for the night because of religious services that night going on, so that was the start of the problem. Charlie Lane seen Larry and his group walking the campus and said, "Where you guys going? You should be off the campus." Larry's response was, "Didn't let us out to school and open the gates where we can leave." Charlie Lane didn't like Larry's response and said, "Oh, you want to be the smart one? You think I won't take you to juvenile hall?" Charlie then attempted to handcuff Larry, but Larry pulled away, and Larry said, "I ain't doing nothing. You can't arrest me." Charlie then walked away and went and retrieved his 12-gauge shotgun off the hood of his car. He then walked back, and in a matter of seconds, Charlie Lane pumped the shotgun 14 inches away and shot Larry in the chest, killing him right in front of Maryland Hall, a women's dorm. Faced immediate backlash from protests from black students opposing the university, and white students fled the campus altogether out of fear of retaliation. The day following Larry's death, the Associated Black Students of Pepperdine presented the school president with a list of 9 demands. The school president agreed to 5 of them. The 5 demands agreed on were: number 1, keep the Los Angeles PD off the campus; number 2, pay the cost of Larry's funeral; number 3, provide financial assistance to allow Larry's surviving brother and sister to obtain a college education; number 4, make efforts to postpone the departure of Larry's brother James, who was due to leave shortly for Vietnam; and number 5, being distributing papers in the community regarding Larry's death and announcing memorial service for him. The additional demands included the resignation of 7 individuals, including faculty who are alleged racist, and the dismissal of Tom Dubas, a student suspected to be in the leader of SPUNS, Society for the Prevention of Negroes Getting Everything. Larry's memorial service was held at St. Mark's United Methodist Church on March 18, 1969 at 11 a.m. The entire service was dedicated in Larry's honor and was paid for by Pepperdine. Racial tensions only got worse on campus. Sporadic fires reportedly broke out, bomb threats were made, and buildings were destroyed. The National Guard surrounded the campus on random acts of violence were committed. Fighting between blacks and whites was reported happening all the time on the campus. Throughout the trial, multiple sources say Charlie Lane deemed this incident to be strictly an accident. It wasn't until 9 months after Larry's death that Lane was given his final verdict in court, a $500 fine, and a probation for his role in Larry's shooting. What a damn shame. This whole situation made it easy for Pepperdine to get the hell out of South Central by moving to campus. It was very easy for Pepperdine to lose sight of what the moment was. Situations like this and many more helped white flight. They got their asses out of South Central and never came back. Malibu became Pepperdine's official new location by September of 1972. In 1981, the South Central campus was sold to Crenshaw Christian Center, a church that operated out of Inglewood. This would later become the mega church called the Faith Dome. The same year, 1981, Charlie Lane died at 73. It's been 53 years since Larry's death, and the urban community still faces the same battles of racism and the loss of many innocent lives. Black professors like Brenda Stevenson has lectures keeping names like Larry and many other innocent victims alive. With that being said, RIP to Larry. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.